Hello, 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 everyone! Merc here, and this is now episode 12 of our Enigmatica 6 expert playthrough. And today, we're going to make a bee farm. We're going to need some materials to get us started off here, and I've got 5 different bee nests. I mean, these are both just those sort of like basic nests that you find out in the wilderness. I'm going to get some more walls because we're going to expand our territory a little bit. Got a little bit of redstone comparators. I've got some dispensers. This is the redstone pen mod up here. And we're going to need some of these redstone logic controls. In fact, I think we're going to want 6 of them. Okay, there are 6 redstone logic controls. And let me show you one other thing that this redstone pen mod, I mean, we've been using the pen itself, but it has this bistable redstone relay. Let's take a quick look at what this can actually do. If you remember over here, this is our dumbwaiter control, right? And this gear shift, turning that on and off, is what actually powers it. Well, up here, we created, right, we've got wireless redstone, and we created this system here in order to enable a button to turn something on, and then the same button to then turn it off. So actually, let's go ahead and demolish this. There we are. And I have a redstone relay. Sorry, I have a bistable redstone relay right here, ready to go. So we're just gonna set this so that it's pointed right there, and then all we're gonna do is we're just gonna run our redstone link over, and yeah, let's move it. I hope it gives me the button back. I have a feeling it's not gonna. Didn't. I'm gonna have to grab a button. But theoretically, we put this here. What are we doing? We are resetting the frequency back to our thing there, and then I gotta click this once in order to make this receive, and that little signal there means it's receiving. So if I go hit the button, this should work. Look at that. Perfect. Perfect, it works. Lightning at the best time. Right, so let's just take a quick look and see what this is actually doing, because I should be able to simulate it with a button on the side. We can see when I click it, it now stays on even though the button has released. So if I click it again, it now stays off even when the button is released. So that whole little system right here, one block from the redstone pen mod. And I guess create also has a like switch that'll work as well, but I really like this redstone pen mod, and so we'll just keep using it a little bit. What I've got a bunch of stone brick. I've got some glass. We're probably going to want like some wood and stuff. I'm not entirely sure on the decoration of the building just yet, but let's get the system mostly working. And you know what? Since we have 5 of these, we're going to also need 5 scrapers, but we'll come back and make the scrapers when we come back for the bees, which we should remember are in that box. I've laid out a little bit of where I want this thing to go. We'll just jump over it real quick. Goodbye, zombie. Thanks for lighting me on fire. Okay, so what I have laid out here is a little bit of a shell, okay? So really, we want to come into our backpack here, the one that's got our supplies, and I'm going to lay the bookshelf, or not the bookshelves, I'm going to lay the bee nests out first. And I'm going to alternate them because I think that will look cool. So we'll put one there. And then we'll put that one there, and we'll put this one here, and this one's going to be the middle of our system. Perfect. Bunch of junk. Put that one there, and this one here. Why are we spacing them out? Well, I'm going to have different types of bees in each nest, and I don't want the bees to interact with each other. The bees have a mechanic where they can mutate other blocks, but they can also mutate other bees, and we don't want any of the bees changing unless it was very intentional. And we're going to put glass around the side here, but I think I want a nice stone brick base. Okay, now, in order to place our dispensers, we need to do something different. We can't just put them here. We actually have to put them up there. And you'll see in a second what I mean. I gotta break these out. And we want the dispenser to face down. If I try to place it here, it doesn't do anything, unfortunately. How do we get around this? Well, we dig a hole in the ground, and now when we're lower and we place it up here, it's actually facing down. Kind of annoying, honestly, but that is the way it works. Now then, each bee nest needs a comparator on the back, and we want it to face out this way. What does the comparator do? Well, it's going to read the honey level, okay? So when the honey level is 5, and don't ask me why, but that's just how the bee nests work. When honey level, which we can see is 0 because there's no bees, there's no honey in here, but when it becomes 5, that means it's full. So we only care about when the signal coming out is a 5. So this will send a signal of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then finally 5. How are we going to read the signal? Well, we're going to read the signal with these Redstone logic controls, which we will see how these work momentarily, but I'm going to line them all up with the red side facing out. Okay, that's good. Now then, we know that this one here is our center, so we're going to keep that as our center, and let's grab our redstone pen. Doesn't have a whole lot of redstone. We might need to go grab some more soon. Don't need my sword just yet. And we're going to wire these all up together. I have just realized, you know, I don't want to leave where I run the redstone. I would like to not leave it as grass. So let's go ahead and fix this. We are next going to run our redstone line up this wall. Just like that. Let's go ahead and build a platform up here, because we need a platform to put some redstone on. So if our redstone line comes up here, I'm going to route it this way. We're going to put another block right here. And then a couple more right here. All right, perfect. We need another one of these logic. And I still, again, actually want the red to be going that way, which it is. Next, we're going to run some redstone around here like this. And there is potentially smaller ways. And when I say smaller, I mean more compact and potentially better ways to do what this is doing. And I will explain what this is doing very soon. But first, connect up all of our dispensers. Okay. These should be on, and we'll be able to sort of test them soon. But first, we need to do something here. And these blocks are programmable. Ooh, look, this is a terminal. I can write whatever I want in here. See? Something that, if you want to use this block yourself, will help you out immensely, because there isn't a whole lot of documentation online for how to use this. But over here on the left, you can see that there's some symbols. If you highlight them, they will tell you sort of how to use this. It is still maybe a little tricky, and you might need to understand programming a little bit. I mean, it's really more like mathematical programming, not logic programming. Well, that's maybe not even the best thing to say there, but it's less like programming like a standard programming language and more like a Mathematica sort of language, if that means anything too. But I have just pasted, and I don't know what that did. What is this red box? Weird. Okay, I pasted some code in here that's going to work. And when I say some code, it's really a single line. The hashtag here, the pound symbol, it denotes a comment. So this whole line, because it's only actually one line, it just wraps. That means it's not going to run. This doesn't mean anything. And I wrote this. If the beehive is at level 5, turn on. And what this means, R. So R is our red side. And we know that our red side is facing away from the beehive, and we know that the yellow side is facing towards the beehive where the comparator is. If Y, the yellow side, is greater than or equal to power of 5, let's just output a signal of 15 on the red, and if it's not, we output a signal of 0. Done. Now we have to hit the run button. And we're just going to come over here, paste, and run. Come back over to the next one, and paste and run, paste and run, and again, paste and run. Something I don't fully know, but I certainly hope, if I stop the world and then start the world back up, I hope these default to whatever state that they were last on. So hopefully they do. Okay, now this one up here has a little different of a purpose. And let's explain this a little bit. When these turn on, over here, the signal's going to run up here, and it doesn't run right to the dispensers. No, it's going to run into this block. I could have it run into the dispensers if they had shears in them. Shears will output all of the honeycomb in one click. So that would, one click, harvest, and then the whole line would turn off, and then we'd be done. Great. But shears have durability, and the scraper, which comes from resourceful bees, doesn't have durability, but it will only remove one comb at a time. So we need to pulse this dispenser for however many combs are going to be in there. And on these like tier 0 bee nests, there will be 3 honeycombs in each one. So we need to pulse at least 3 times. So I came up with this system here to do this. Our input is blue, and our final output is yellow. Let's remember that. So when I come in here and I paste, okay, here is a 5-tick pulse timer. All right. So, how does this actually work? Again, it's going to be a little tricky, but I'm going to try and explain it quickly here. So if yellow is our output side, we want to turn yellow on. And this TP1, they actually explain it down here. TP1 is a pulse tick. That's really the function of what it does. So we're going to do a pulse tick here when B, which is blue, okay, blue our input, when our input is greater than 0, just meaning it's on. And the red side has a, where do they put this one at? Edge detection, I believe, is it? Yes. Falling edge, okay, that's the .fe suffix. Falling edge means that the signal is turning off. So if our blue is greater than 0 and the red is turning off, that's what that means, we're going to pulse Y for 5 ticks. So our red is here. How does red turn off? Well, we got to look at how green is going to turn on. Green will turn on for a 5 pulse tick when blue RE, and if we remember from back over here, that means rising edge. That means when it's turning on. So when blue turns on, we're going to pulse Y. Sorry, we're going to pulse the green. So, if that sounds confusing, it is maybe slightly confusing. Let's look at it from this side. When this line turns on, meaning we are ready to harvest a bee's nest, what we're going to do is we're going to pulse this side. And then the yellow is going to say, hey, if this is on and this has been pulsed, we need to turn these all on. Let's go ahead and simulate it with a lever. So if I came over here and we connect it up, this lever, we have to connect it. Oh, well, of course it's not going to work. Why is it not going to work? Because I didn't tell the program to run. Run. Okay. Let's try this again. Look at this. These dispensers, they don't have anything in them, but they are pulsing. You hear that? Tick, tick, tick. Every single one of those is going to shoot out a honeycomb if there's honeycombs in there to shoot out. The other thing to note is a honeycomb can only come out if the honey level is 5. So if honey level is 3, that means there's honeycombs in there, but we can't get them yet. So then, once the honeycombs come out, this will come back down below 5. This will turn off. Boom. Done. Perfect. Okay, so we need to make some scrapers. We need to fill some scrapers in here. And we need to make a collection system, because right now, everything's just going to drop on the ground, and we really don't want that to happen. You know what? We have some glass. Let's go ahead and use our glass real quick. We want to make some connecting glass. And we're just going to run this around here. And the point of this is that we're able to see our bees while they're in the hive doing their thing. I'm laying these flowers out in a very specific spot because the bees are going to be in a lane and we can't block the opening. If we block the opening, they cannot go in and out. You know, I think maybe we're going to try putting stone brick down here as well, just to denote the lanes even more. And this is going to be a very special block. This is where we're going to put our factory hoppers. So we got to make one of these. Let's take a look how we make it. We make it with a normal hopper. Easy enough to make, right? Just some iron in a chest. We need metal bars. Metal bars are aluminum rods. Not too hard to make, but flux dust. We have to get some redstone, go down to bedrock, and have a block of obsidian. And I think we can probably crush like a whole stack of this at once. We'll find out. And, yeah. Let's go do that now. So we're just going to toss our redstone over there. We're going to put the obsidian piece right here and just click it. Boom! Look at that. That was pretty cool. 64 flux dust. Pretty simple to get. I'm going to leave this one single piece of obsidian down here because maybe we'll use it again. Okay, so we're actually going to dig this down a little further because we're going to put our... This is going to be sort of like a buffer chest. That's going to go right there. And then we're going to put a factory hopper right on it. This factory hopper, we're going to say it will work without redstone. That's what this little symbol means. And this up here is our collection. See if I highlight it. Collection radius 0 to 4. We want to put it all the way at the top. That means that it's going to be 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how far we're going to be able to select that way, this way, and 4 blocks in these directions as well. But that's less important. They shouldn't really be shooting out too much further, but 1, 2, 3, 4 will actually cover this whole section. That's why it is the size it is, honestly. So let's go ahead and test it. If I drop a dirt block here, it should pick it up. There it goes. It's not like instant, but it is good enough. And I throw one over here, it will still pick it up. Good. We'll also see it's no longer in here because it put it in the chest. We're going to make ourselves a little hole over here, just so we can get over to the chest. It's going to be over here. Right here. Okay, and we can't actually open it from here, but that is fine. Because what we're actually going to do is we're going to use pretty pipes and route it out. Alright, so let's lay some of our pipe down. We're going to put this one here, and then right away, we're just going to... Well... I guess I gotta do that real quick. We want to slot in our high extraction module, and remember, the high extraction module will allow a full stack to go through, but the more important piece is it will not oversend. That's the important bit. Here we are, and we are sending this pipe directly under there, which is under the very middle of our system at this point, and we're gonna run it up. And I'm envisioning that will probably just have like a wall of drawers, I'm guessing. Something like this, maybe. Um, that should just work, I imagine. Oh, look, here come our items that were in the box right when I dropped the 2 pieces of dirt. Here they are. Let's pull them out, and I think we need to enclose the bee area in. With our roof on, we should be good to put the bees in, and then we can finish building the rest of the building. If we get the bees in now, they will have longer to produce something. So the glowstone bees are the ones I'm most concerned about, and then I also brought some skeleton bees over. We're just going to come in here, and I'm going to queue them up. We're going to put them in, and hopefully they do not escape. And if they do, I'll just recatch them in a bottle. Ooh, they went right in. Okay, great. So we can see that the bees are now 2 out of 2 in the tier 0 hive, honey level 0. Skeleton bees, you know, I didn't check. Let's go find our Beepedia. I gotta wait just a few seconds. I need the bees to pop back out, but then we will scan them with the Beepedia. So I haven't scanned anything with the Beepedia yet. If we see bees found 0 out of 83, we just right click on a bee and then we'll get information. So when I open this up, we're gonna be able to find all of the different kinds of bees that are in here. And so if I search for like skeleton bee, here it is, we can see it. And in fact, the information is already in here without us scanning it, but we may as well scan it. And what I wanted to check is I wanted to check if the flowers we had in there were the correct flowers. And this does appear that we have any kind of normal Minecraft flower, which is good. Let's take another look in here real quick. We can see that we could, we can block mutate stone. This looks like any kind of normal Minecraft stone could go into bone blocks. So this would be really cool. So this system that we have set up here is not set up for doing block mutations. I will plan to do one of those in the future once we have more automated ways of breaking the blocks and replacing blocks. Our system has triggered, which is great. But we can see I don't have any scrapers. I didn't do the scrapers. Let's go make them real quick. We need 5. Technically, we only need 2 at the moment, but we're going to make 5. Okay, back over to our clicking monstrosity. If I put this scraper in here, that's probably okay. So we can see that comb shot out of here, but I think it shot out because there isn't a wall here yet. We're going to put a wall there. Okay, so we can see that our glowstone honey is back down to level 0, but the skeleton one is at 3. So I'm going to see if I can get that on camera. It's switching over and then harvesting. There we are. It triggered. So if I come back here, we should see, well, okay, we might need to plug a hole up a little bit. But we did get one of the honeycombs, at least from the skeleton in there, which is great. Now then, How did it shoot out here? Is it possible to shoot it out behind the hive? Because if it is, that might be an issue. Just because we can't really block it off. I mean, you might be able to put slabs in there. I'm not sure. But the actual issue is probably closer to the fact that this is open down here. So I think we're just going to plug this up real quick. Just like that. And this is now fully automated, at least for these two types of bees, and we can throw 3 more types in. I have wood bees, but we have a wood system. I have sooty bees, but we have charcoal. So I'm probably going to wait until we get something like... Actually, let's use the Beepedia. Let's look for iron bees, right? Iron bees would be great. How do we get an iron bee? Look at that. It's already triggered again. That was for the glowstone bees. I don't see any glowstone over here. We should see 6. Well, 4, 5, 6. There they come. Just like that. Perfect. All right, so let's come back to this iron bee. Let's see. Breeding. Ah, a sandy bee and a forest bee bred together will make an iron bee. Perfect. So we have a forest bee, but we have not found a sandy bee. Sandy bee can be found, unsurprisingly, in the sand. So we'll probably take a look for a sandy bee at some point. And that's just for the iron bee, right? There's lead bees, there's going to be like gold bees and nickel bees. This is going to be fantastic. If we now want to process our honeycombs, we're going to need a centrifuge. So there's a couple different ones. Let's take a look at what the bee mod even gives us, right? So this is a centrifuge controller, so this is a big multi-block. This isn't going to be something we're going to get into today, and it requires this one. This is the one that I would like to make, and because it requires steel, and we need a blast furnace, and we know that we are building towards the blast furnace, but we need some magic in order to get there. So we're not quite ready for the steel, so we're not quite ready for actually automating the processing of the honeycombs. However, they have a manual centrifuge. The manual one is quite manual, but it is easy to make. Real easy to make. 1 and 2. I don't believe I'm going to have a barrel. We'll just double check this. Oh, maybe we do. Look at that. Manual centrifuge. The other thing that we're going to need to have is glass bottles. Let's go ahead and queue up a few of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know, something like that. We'll just kind of pop those all on there. That's, I'm sure, not going to be enough. Also, you may have noticed I'm doing a little bit of renovation on the building to make it look pretty. Here we do. We come inside. Yeah, so we're going to need to lock these out and everything so that only the items go where they need to go. And in order to do that, actually, let's take a quick look and see what the drawer key takes to make. That's easy enough. Let's go make this right now. Key obtained. And while my inventory is quite full, let's go ahead and throw away that stripped log. Back into here, and when we do this, we're going to need to do 2 things. Step 1, make inventory space. Step 2, we need to pull everything out of this drawer, and then we can lock it. Lock, lock, lock. We're going to lock these as well. Okay, so what locking the drawers means, if you're unaware, it means now automatically things cannot go in there unless they've been slotted in there. I can manually slot something in here. The lock doesn't prevent that. It will just prevent automatically placing items in there. So we'll go ahead and put this here. We already have 25 glowstone honeycombs, and we have 12 of the skeleton ones. The other thing locking the drawer does is it means if I come over here and I try to take everything out, look, it still has it here. Even though we have 0 in the box, it lists it. Let's go ahead and put our centrifuge down. And this is going to be mostly temporary anyway, so we'll just kind of place it here. I'm going to go ahead and put the bottles in and the glowstone honeycomb, and we're just going to quickly reprocess them. Oops, I guess I have to shift right click. Every one of those little ticks, that's a completed craft. Done. Well, it's only done because it ran out of space. So we have almost a full stack of glowstone dust in there. And we got some beeswax, which is good because we do use that for other things. Let's keep going. There we go, processed. Interestingly enough, we didn't get anything out of these. If I look up the glowstone comb, and we look at the centrifuge, we will see that there is only a 2% chance, very slim, of getting this glowstone honey bottle. That's fine. Honestly, we would get more than I know what to do with, probably. So, I can come back here if I want to and reslot in these items, because they came from here. I mean, makes sense for now, although we are going to want this glowstone in the main building. So we might also look at linking this pipe system up with our main pipe system in the future as well. So everyone, it is now that wrapping up point of the episode. Did you have fun with this one? I think this is a really fun little project. It is another source of automation for our world. We're going to have all sorts of glowstone coming in, which means we're going to use glowstone everywhere. So all of these torches you see in the background, I'm probably going to try and replace them with like hidden glowstone blocks and stuff like that. Back over to our to-do board, we can see glowstone bees has been removed. Done. What's in store for the next episode? Well, if we remember, we were doing the glowstone in order to be able to make Heart of the Sea. The other thing we needed was kelp. So kelp farm might be in the next episode. But there is one other thing that's sort of like in the back of my mind that I might want to do in the next episode as well, and that is the auto cobble. It would be really nice to have lots of different kinds of stone for our builds, you know, all sorts of different colors. This thing here doesn't cut it. So thanks for watching, and please in the comments let me know what projects you think I should work on next. Also, what kind of a roof I should make for this thing. As we can see, it's kind of empty at the moment. But this is Merc Serene, signing off.